Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mary Jo.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to gather here to exhibit our dedication to service above self, Lord. We thank you for the challenges that we face each and every day, and we hope to rise above all of those. We want to give you thanks for our group and to thank you for the food that you have provided for all of us. In your son's name we pray, amen.
Amen. All right. I saw Fred at Sam's Club 2 days in a row, I think. And he told me he was going to be here. So, Fred, good to see you this week.
Yeah, I know that Marianne was coming back, so I needed to be here. So we did acapella last week. This week we have music. We will do Jingle Bells. Yep.
As long as you can sing.
Crashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. O'er the fields we go, laughing all the way, ha ha ha, bells and bottle ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to ride and sing a sleighing song tonight. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Thank you, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Fred. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you, Chris, for taking over the meeting for me last week. I was out of town for some training, so I think everything went well. I didn't hear any disasters, but I did hear some great news with the club.
It went better, actually.
It went better? Oh. Dave's not even here, and Rob's not here to make fun of me, so Joey's filling in for him. But awesome news that the club raised those funds to send out to Kentucky. I think the club, we wrote a check for like $1,100, but then if you add on the other donations the individuals made outside of, on top of that, I think it was around $1,500 or so, something like that, that our members contributed, something like that, I think. Cool news from the district was that the district's going to match up to $5,000 of whatever the clubs raise and send down. So I already reported that to the district, so hopefully they'll match our contribution there. So that's really, really cool. So I wanted to start off by saying thank you to Chris for leading the meeting and the club for stepping up for that. And I think the club deserves a round of applause for the contribution. So before we jump into announcements and guests and everything, we do have a new member induction this week. So Josh, if you want to go ahead and come on up here. Josh reached out to me probably a month ago, 2 months ago, I don't remember when, on Facebook saying he was interested in what the Rotary Club is all about, and he's been coming ever since. So it's really cool to see his excitement for the Rotary Club. Technically, who was his sponsor? Would it be me, or would it be Chad, or somebody else at the table that you said? I don't know. So, but we are so glad to have you, and I'm really glad that we get to induct you as a new member. So, I've done this, you've seen me do this a couple times. Everybody knows I screw this up every time. So I think you guys stay seated until I get to the part in here where it says please rise. So we are going to induct Josh Olah, did I say it right? Into the Rotary Club of Brazil. So, fellow Rotarians, it is the duty of our Rotary Club to add new members so that we may not only increase our usefulness and influence as a club, but also to extend the spirit of Rotary throughout the community. Today, I welcome to our ranks and admit into membership Josh Olah. Rotarian Josh, you've been elected to membership in this club because your fellow members believe you to be a worthy representative of your calling and also possess qualities that will permit you to exemplify the true spirit of Rotary in your public, business, social, and private life. I wish to impress upon you that you have been admitted to not only to the Rotary Club of Brazil, but a worldwide association. And by virtue of your membership in this club, you will be welcomed into fellowship of any Rotary Club in the world. The honor and privilege of Rotary membership carries with it duties and obligations. You will be expected to attend the club's regular meetings, to perform your share of club service, and to place your knowledge and talents at the disposal of the club in the task of carrying out principles of Rotary into the daily life of the community. I ask that all members rise, and guests as well. If you guys think you're nervous, just imagine how he feels with Hudson just staring at him the whole time with his mouth open. Rotarian Josh, in the name of the Rotary Club of Brazil, I now formally admit you into membership into this club and ask that your sponsor, me, affix to your lapel our emblem. I should have prepared better for this. Steve's pretty good at doing this. Okay. That's Patagonia here. Here, let me just put it through the zipper so it's not done. Why am I so shaky? I told you I get nervous. There we go. Okay. Alright, now it's official. Fellow Rotarians, I commend you to welcome our newest member, Rotarian Josh, and charge all of you to welcome him to our club today. Congratulations, Josh. Alright, now's when you dance, right? Okay. Small little, everybody can be seated. Josh, picture?
Do you want to give them a packet?
Yeah, I guess. I probably could. Your official certificate. Alright. You can have a speech now if you want.
Thank you for inducting me. Looking forward to really being involved in the community for this club and being an active member. So thank you very much.
Wonderful. Yep, you can do that. All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's go around the room and see what guests we have. Donnie, you got some guests in the back there, don't you?
This is my wife, Marlene, and my granddaughter, Hazel.
Welcome.
I have my wife, and this is Mara. She's been my wife for 33 years.
I have my husband Rick with me. I won't tell you how old he is or how
Roger.
Well, I have Kay with me, my wife, B.
You want to show everybody Hudson? I think he looks like Marv with that hat from Home Alone. All right, who's happy about something with Happy Bucks? I know it's a couple days before Christmas, so we've got a lot going on and everything, so somebody's got to be happy about something.
All right, I'm happy about something. And again, some folks may not understand that. Mom went home 2 nights ago, and I'm happy that she lived a long life, 87 years old, young. And I thought when I came back from that funeral in August, I'd have to turn right around. God has given us a few more months, so I'm happy about that. Christmas is ruined, the holiday is ruined. I know where she is. I know I'll see her again. I'm happy about that. I'll get $20 for that. And I'm just all right.
Who else wants to share something they're thankful for, or excited about for Christmas or anything like that? I'm really excited that in a couple days we get to watch Hudson struggle to open up all of his presents and have no idea what it's all about, but we sure are really excited about that. So, Leah.
I have an anniversary tomorrow also. It'll be our 49th.
49. Wow, congratulations.
We met on a blind date and we've been blind ever since.
Who else has something they want to share? Yeah, Peggy.
My grandson Weston was born last week. He was 7 pounds, 9 ounces, 21 and a half inches long, and he's orange.
Orange?
On the belly blanket.
Well, congratulations. Yeah, Mike.
My very first grandson is 17 years old today. So I'll be happier though when he gives me his driver's license, but that's another.
You're gonna put him in, was that the grandson that came down and was helping you a couple of months ago? From Noblesville? That
Yeah.
area? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when he gets his driver's license, he can come visit you more and you can put him to work
Yeah.
more.
And I've got a car sitting in the garage, well, yeah, sitting in the garage waiting for him. And I'm happy that it's Christmas on Saturday and that we're gonna have nice warm weather.
Yeah, 65 on Saturday. That's crazy, wasn't it?
Yeah, cutting lawns probably.
Who else is happy or excited about something? All right, any announcements for the club? We do have the blood drive coming up. We've sent the link out for that, shared it a couple places in the community. So if you are willing and able to give blood, we would really appreciate that. The Red Cross would really appreciate it, and you know, like I've shared our story before, Megan would really appreciate it because now it hits a little bit closer to home to us after Hudson made his grand entrance and everything. But I'll share the link again in the email that I put out here this afternoon, and then you can just share that with whoever you want to around the community and whatnot. We've got a Facebook event made for it, but it's kind of hard to follow Facebook's new event things, and I think I invited everybody on my Facebook friends list who lives in or around Brazil to come to that. But if you haven't signed up for it and you can, or if you know people who might be interested, send them that link so we can have, according to the Red Cross, the best blood drive in Brazil over the Sheriff's Department. So that's my goal always. Any other announcements for the club before we introduce our guest, or our Rotarian who will then introduce our guest speaker?
February 19th is the bingo.
Mhm.
Chris did get the license, so that is a go.
Perfect.
Tickets will be getting released here soon.
Perfect. I'm sure it's going to be just as crazy and packed as before. Bingo in this community seems like a really cool, fun, exciting event. So as soon as we get those tickets out, we can start promoting those again. There's something else to say.
Be at the fairground. I think that Chris is close on having final numbers also from the one a few months back when we did the check presentation. I think it was a little over $8,500 that we gave to or are giving to the 4-H. And with that, we also were able to raise or get $1,000 for the club.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Like I've said before in the past, I'm trying to figure out exactly what the financial impact our club has, you know, around the community through like what the food booths raise during the festival and things that we do throughout the year. And I think it's really amazing the great work that our club can kind of partner with everybody and do. So that's really something to be proud of, and really looking forward to that one. I think I'll be in town for this one, so I'll be able to see what it's all about. We're going to have a quick little board meeting after club today just to get caught up on a couple little items. I think that's all I have, so this time I'm going to introduce Rotarian Brandon Sneath, and then he'll introduce his wonderful guest speaker. Brandon.
My guest speaker unfortunately has canceled, so we will keep them for the next one. But so today you're going to have to listen to me chatter for however long that you guys want to listen, I guess. But I feel like this is a good week because we have Fred back and we have Mary Ann back, and it's the week before Christmas when you would think that things would be slowing down. But I'm in the real estate market. I'm the managing broker of A&B Homes. We just moved to a new location here on 40. I think it used to be Sally's Bar for some of you older people. I'm not for sure. I could see probably where it was a bar. I think every building in Brazil at some point was a bar. So, but anyway, the real estate market is not slowing down. I have 3 closings this week. I have 2 closings next week. I had 3 listings that came up this week, and it's like, does anybody know that Christmas is Saturday? I guess not. We just kind of keep going. The joke kind of right now is every day is Groundhog's Day for me. Every day is like Monday. You just get up and you know your phone's just going to ring and text and email and text. It doesn't matter if it's Saturday, Sunday. I had 2 phone calls on Thanksgiving, and it was like, it's not like I'm gonna go show you the house on Thanksgiving, but I'll answer the phone, or at least answer the text. I don't know, I have a whole stack of buyers. There's just like no inventory to show them, and if there is inventory, there's multiple offers, and I know a lot of my friends up in Indianapolis on houses, they're kind of getting around getting their offer accepted by, they'll reach out to their parents. If it's like $100,000 house, their parents will pull out $100,000 out of their 401k or retirement fund. They'll say, hey, we got a cash offer for $100,000. Oh, cash is great. The parents technically buy the house, and then the kids refinance it into their names. That way, the kids get the house, the parents are happy that the kids are getting out of the house, but I don't know, it's hard to compete with cash offers, and I mean, you see everything on letters and notes, and people will give their firstborn, and the last couple, they're like, just whatever you want to leave, you just leave. You don't even have to clean it. You can leave everything in the garage, we just want the house. This is only my second year doing real estate. I was in the healthcare for 15 years before I went into real estate, and I think I'm close to closing 100 transactions for this last year, which is, you well, both of you back there, it's a lot of paperwork, it's a lot of phone calls, it's a lot of follow-up. I've got 3 transactions right now that are not, I mean, we've been trying to close them for, one's going on 3 months, and it's just follow-up, and so much stuff can happen in 3 months. Someone can get sick, someone can lose their job. When the lender's looking at your bank statements and stuff, because they want to see, they want to know where all that money's coming from, they're like, well, where did you get this? Where did you get this? How did you get this? And it's like, I know my bank statement, it's like, if you sell something, okay, well, you put a deposit, and they're like, well, I sold a bike, or I sold a car, or now it's Christmas time, so now people are going to be getting cash at Christmas, and the lenders are going to be like, why'd they give you $200? And I don't know, I feel like 2022, we're going to still be right where we're at. I'm probably working with maybe 10 or 15 buyers right now, and you show them a house. I showed one last night, and it had 3 offers on it already, and they get discouraged, and they're like, well, I don't want to pay over asking price. You gotta be creative on how you're gonna get your clients in a house, and a lot of times I'll look on Zillow and see if there's anything for sale by owner, or if I'm driving by and I see a for sale by owner sign, I call it and say, what do you want? Can I show it? And at the end of the game, it's like I'm trying to find people houses or trying to sell their house, and again, I would have thought for December things would have slowed down, but it's still good. The interest rates are still good. There's still lots of money for 100% finance people who are like first-time home buyers. So if you want to sell your house, let me know. I might have somebody that will already want to buy it. So it's that 3-bedroom, 2-bath. Everybody wants, the 2-car garage, and some people are still kind of, they only want to spend this amount, and I'm like, well, that was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and they're like, well, I'm going to wait till the market comes down, and it's not coming down. If the market comes down, your interest rate's going to go up, and your payment's still going to be the same. So I don't know. I move a lot, so I can't ever say I'm like I am in my forever home right now. Right now. So any questions? Anybody got any real estate questions?
Well, I noticed the Fed is talking about raising the rates. How much, I don't know. me that's overdue considering the inflation that we have right now. How do you think that will affect home buyers if they go up, say, half a point? Prices, I should say.
Right? I think there's so many people that are looking for houses still that I don't think they might have to scale back on what they can afford because their interest rate's gonna be higher, but I think first-time home buyers, there is just, the list is never ending of people looking. Yes, sir.
I want to give you a little perspective here. My daughter just refinanced her home and got an interest rate of 1-point-something%, which I said, now, I just heard on the news that inflation is the highest it's been since 1982. And 1982 was the year that I got married and I was looking for a home. Interest rates were 18% at that time. So it's really changed a lot over those years. I said, you don't want to go back to 1982. Take advantage of what you got right now.
I think I bought my first house in 06 or 07, and I think I got 7 or 8%, and that was pretty good, you know. But you hear people, they're like, oh, well, it's almost 4%, and I'm like, that's still pretty good, you know, 3 or 4. Occasionally you'll see a 2, and you're like, that's really good. 1 something that's real good.
Back in the 80s, you get a CD and get about 12-14% too.
Oh, yeah. How's that CD working for you now? Right?
Are there a lot of people moving into the area, or is it just people from the area moving around?
There's a lot of people moving into this area. A lot of people from Indianapolis. I mean, we have a ton of agents, I feel like, coming down here showing their client stuff because it's so competitive up there. I had a listing up in Greenwood, 15 offers. I mean, you can't compete with it. I mean, at least here in Brazil, you might have, you know, 3 offers, 4 offers, which is a lot. But up there, I mean, people are just, I just had a closing last week for a house in Greencastle, and we went 50,000 over and got it, 9 offers, and it appraised. It appraised. So, I mean, there are appraisal issues. You can't just be like, hey, I'm going to buy this house for this amount unless you're going to say you'll pay the difference of what the appraisal is. But yeah, I mean, if people need houses, there's a ton of people, I feel like, coming from California, Texas, like outside states that are expensive to live in, and they're like, we can move here, and what they can get there for 400,000 or 500,000 a mansion here in Brazil. So they're like, we'll move to Brazil and we'll get acreage and a house and a barn and.
First of all, man, I'm glad you joined the club, and you've made a big impact since you've been here in the town. You've opened that new office, cleaned up that end of the town. You have your other shop, and cleaned up that building. Yeah, you were excited about that. So thank you for all that.
You're welcome.
But what is the high end of the real estate market here?
High end?
Yeah, that you're in.
I would say, you know, like the middle ground of what everybody's kind of looking for, price range, I mean, is probably, you know, that 130 to 200,000. That's like, you know, that's middle. You get, I feel like anything over 200, then you're getting up there for what Brazil can handle, you know, for price. I mean, how many people in Brazil can afford $1 million home? Just probably a handful. I would rather have a handful of $100,000 listings than one listing that's $1 million, because $1 million listing is gonna sit there for a while.
I was thinking you wanted a lot of 300,000.
I mean, that's a nice home for Brazil. Yeah. Again, I would rather have a couple handful of $150,000 homes, because I know those are gonna be easier to sell and promote. Yeah, I would love to sell a $300 house, but again, your criteria of people that can afford it are smaller. You want to sell? I know where you live.
Kind of piggybacking off of what Steve said, Brandon, what's next for your future? What's gonna be the next venture? Are you thinking about doing a, like, Love It or List It TV show?
I'm staying. I'll just say it's cheaper to build than to remodel. I feel like if you're remodeling a bathroom, for instance, it costs more to remodel because they have to go in that space, where if you build it, everything's open, they can run plumbing, electrical. That's why I'm staying in the house I'm in, because I'd never be able to get back out what I put in it. But no, I don't know what next year's gonna bring. I might flip a couple houses next year. I don't know, but right now I'm so busy that I don't have time to go and pick stuff out or meet with contractors or worry about if the flooring's getting put down or a roof's getting put on. I'm just trying to keep my head above water and make sure title work's going through, and my clients are, if a house comes on today, like, I'm gonna have to show it probably tonight, or there will be offers on it. So where before you'd be like, today's Wednesday, hey, can I show a house on Saturday? Now I just laugh if they say they want to see it on Saturday, because I know there will already be probably a couple offers on it if it's priced right and it's in good condition. And so I'm like, okay, I'll set you up for Saturday, and then Friday I text them, I'm like, yeah, it's already pended, sorry. But
If you're wanting to sell your house and you want to do improvements to increase the value of the house, what would be the best way to do that?
to improve the value.
What you make to your house before you put it on the market?
I mean, I think an easy one's always paint and flooring, and then if you want to get into higher end stuff, bathrooms and kitchens, or just change out light fixtures. I mean, that's another easy one that you can update a home with very little money. But in this market, you just put a sign in the yard. It's like, don't worry about the broken windows or the caution tape or anything. Like,
Metal roofs, do they help?
metal roofs? I don't know that I've had any that's pros or cons, I know I've had a couple that it's been questioned if they've kept the old roof underneath it and then put the metal one on top of it to make sure there's proper ventilation. But otherwise, I haven't heard, it's not. It might be something in 10 years we're like, oh my God, why did we put metal roofs on houses? It's like when people put carpet over hardwood floors. You're like, why'd you do that?
Do you still do open houses?
Occasionally I will. I haven't done one for a while. I did one this summer. Probably we will do what's called brokers open, where we'll have an open house for real estate agents, because if you can get the agents in there, then they can maybe look at the house and then try to get their clients in there. An open house, I know sellers like those, or they think they like them, but if they were actually there, it's just their neighbors coming over, and then their cousins and nosy people looking, and it's like, you've wasted 3 hours of your day and you've just had everybody in your neighborhood come through your house and pick it apart. So if someone wants to buy a house, they're probably working with an agent and they're seeing houses. They're not just saying, oh, let's wait till Sunday to go to this open house. If it's let's say an awesome house, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, perfect price range, perfect location, I've done an open house then. you know, I'll have an open house Saturday and Sunday. Everybody submit your offers by Monday. You know, that way you don't just have showing.
Is it better to show an empty house or one still lived in?
I've had both. If the house looks nice and it's clean, great. If the house is not clean, I went to one the other day that the people decided they would stay there, and they're both sitting on the couch smoking cigarettes the entire time, and have a dog in the kennel that's barking. I would say it's better that the house would have been empty. You're trying to show the house to your clients, and they're both sitting on the couch, just one after another, and the dog's in the crate just barking, and it's like, this is not helping your situation. So it goes both ways. I mean, sometimes you clear the house out, and then the house looks worn and tired, and you see every scuff and stain, but sometimes they're so packed full that you can't even get into some of the rooms. So the first house I bought that was a flip, you couldn't even get into like 2 of the bedrooms because they were just full. So you're like, huh? If anybody's wanting to get their real estate license, let me know. I can give you guidance on how to take the course and take the test, and it's a good field to be in. It gives you flexibility. I would never be able to come and be in Rotary before when I was in healthcare. I go and get coffee in the morning. I go and get Diet Coke or ice cream during the day. I love being able to go out and show a house at 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning. I don't know. It just, if I want to answer my phone, I answer my phone, which I do, but the bad part of it is it does not stop right now. The phone rings until 10, sometimes 11 o'clock at night. It rings on Thanksgiving, and you just kind of keep doing it. Does he want to become a realtor?
No.
What? He's taking over the business.
No.
She said no. Thank you.
We've already learned that, like, if he falls asleep like this, don't move him, because he'll just wake up screaming. So he's up here now. So, well, thank you, Brandon. And you know, like what has been said before within the community, you know, the things that Brandon's done with his different offices and buildings, and it's really been neat to see Brazil kind of perk up just a little bit. You know, a couple of coats of paint and some new businesses coming to town is really, really cool to see. And I will apologize, we haven't been into A&B Farmhouse yet. But
What?
yeah, we mean to, but it's just don't. Sorry.
Is that what she's telling you?
Sorry.
Is that what she's telling you?
What?
She hasn't been in there? She pays cash.
She'll
Yeah,
be
a
like,
couple people that do just for that reason.
So, anyway, thanks again, Brandon. And it's always interesting to hear, you know, kind of a realtor's perspective. And thinking about 6 years ago when we moved from Fishers back down here to Brazil, our house up in Fishers and the lot up there was like maybe, the lot itself was like 10,000 square feet, something really small up in a subdivision up there. We sold that house and we moved down here with 4 acres, and it was like the same price. Much bigger house, 4 acres, out in the country, much nicer neighbors, by the way. Love being back in Brazil versus being up in Fishers, but it's really interesting to kind of hear that, you know, when people, I've got some friends all over the country, when I tell them, you know, real estate prices here in Brazil and what they can get for it versus, you know, one friend's out in Philadelphia, he couldn't believe, you know, kind of what it was like out here in Indiana. So we got it pretty nice over here in our little part of the woods. Anything else for the good of the club? All right, yeah, taxes are a lot lower, especially, it's crazy. We'll rise to the 4-way test and get out here. All right. Of the things we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? will build goodwill and better friendships, will be beneficial to all concerned.
Yep, you too. It's good to have you. It's good to have you. Show him.